You know, this week we want to talk about panicking, and I really want to talk about the three ways to avoid panicking when you're out on a motorcycle, right? So, first rule number one is prepare before you leave the driveway to go for a motorcycle ride. What do I mean by that, Clint?
Well, you know, there's it's very, very important, but a little game that, you know, I've heard it from a lot of other riders too. They think, you know, they're getting in the, call it the zone before they go out. You go out with the mindset that everybody's out to get you.
Yeah.
You know, it's you against the world type of thing. You know, obviously it's just a game. It's not really the way it's going to play out. But if you go out with that mindset, so, you know, you're watching out for every little hazard and things like that, and your senses are tuned, ready for it before you get there.
Right.
That's one way that's going to help you avoid the panic situation, because you're going to be ready for everything.
Yeah, it's like a good friend of our show writes all the time, Mendelson Joe, he used to say, just imagine everybody's out to kill you. So, A, mental preparation, that will help you avoid panicking. 2, get the big picture, right?
Yeah, when you say the big picture, I mean, look up, look ahead. You know, when I've seen it so many times. I've seen it on the racetrack, I've seen it on the street. You know, people come into a corner, especially if it's a new road, something they haven't been on, it's a twisty road, they'll come into a corner and they think they're going too fast. What's the first thing that they do? Usually is they look down right in front of them. Mm-hmm. You know, if you can get your eyes up, you know, train yourself to look up, look ahead, it gives your mind the idea that now, as you can see more, it looks like you have more space.
Right.
In reality, you know, if the road's only 50 feet wide, the road's only 50 feet wide. It doesn't matter where we look, it's still 50 feet wide.
Yeah.
But at least it gives you the idea that you're seeing things further away, you've got some time to react to that, and that's going to keep the panic down.
Right.
A little bit. So look up, see the big picture.
Get the big picture. And then the third thing is practice your braking. Practice your emergency procedures, right?
Yep. And Dave, I think I talk about that quite a bit. As always, I'm constantly telling people practice, practice, practice.
Right.
You know, practice that emergency stopping or that emergency avoidance at the speeds that you travel. If
Yep.
you normally are on the highway cruising at 100 kilometers an hour, well, that's when we need to practice. You know, emergency stopping at 100,
Right.
not at 50, at 100.
Right.
So it's things like that. That combined with keeping your eyes up, looking around, and making sure your senses are tuned before you get out there in the battlefield, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, between that, you can learn to control your panic, and it's very, very important when you're on a motorcycle.
Okay, so get your head in the game, get the big picture, practice, practice, practice. You'll never panic.
That's right.
Good stuff.